In the ancient sands of the Arabian Peninsula, long before the rise of the great civilizations of Persia and Rome, there existed two distinct tribes, Tasm and Jadis. They lived in the remote desert regions and fertile oases of what is now central Saudi Arabia, with the lands stretching between the modern-day provinces of Najd and Al-Yamama. The history and legends surrounding them trace back to a period often called the Pre-Islamic Arabia of Al-Jahiliya. The people of Tasm and Jadis were described in oral traditions and historical accounts as being distinct from the more nomadic Bedouin tribes. According to ancient narrations, the men of Tasm were tall and broad-shouldered, with dark, sun-burnished skin from centuries of living in the harsh desert environment. Their hair was typically coarse, ranging in shades of dark brown to jet black, often worn long or braided to protect their necks from the fierce desert winds. The women of Jadis were renowned for their beauty and grace. They were characterized by their sharp features, almond-shaped eyes and slender builds. They dressed in long, flowing garments woven from the flax and wool they produced, dyed in earthy tones to blend with the arid landscapes around them. Their jewellery, made from shells and stones, signified their wealth and status. The homeland of Tasm and Jadis lay in the Yamama region, where the desert meets pockets of fertile lands. They built their dwellings near oases and wadis, seasonal rivers, where the soil was rich enough to support farming. Their settlements consisted of mud brick houses, fortified by walls to protect against the constant threat of raids by rival tribes and wild desert beasts. The remains of these settlements have been found in regions like Al-Yamama and Qaryat al-Far, where archaeologists uncovered traces of their existence, pottery, tools, and foundations of buildings that hint at a thriving but isolated community. The ruins of Qaryat al-Far, once a bustling trading centre, show that these tribes were not merely herders or warriors, but also skilled artisans and traders. Tasm and Jadis were contemporaneous with the early civilizations of Mesopotamia and the Levant, placing their prominence around the first millennium BCE. The tribes were divided into a complex social structure. Tasm was known for its warrior caste, revered for their strength and bravery. They were often employed as mercenaries and raiders, offering their services to neighbouring kingdoms and tribal coalitions. They prized martial prowess above all, and their leaders were often the most fearsome warriors. On the other hand, Jadis was primarily an agrarian society. They were master farmers, utilising ingenious irrigation techniques to cultivate dates, grains, and vegetables in the arid environment. Their expertise in agriculture allowed them to thrive in isolated regions, turning barren desert into productive farmland. They also wove intricate textiles and were famous for their pottery, pieces of which have been found in archaeological sites scattered throughout Central Arabia. The tribes of Tasm and Jadis have been immortalised in Arabian folklore for the brutal war that erupted between them. According to these legends, Tasm ruled over Jadis with an iron fist, demanding heavy tributes and subjugating their people. One fateful night, the men of Jadis rose up in a coordinated rebellion, slaughtering all the Tasm men in their settlement while they were asleep. The massacre was swift and thorough, sparing only a few women and children. However, the conflict did not end there. The surviving Tasm members called upon their distant relatives, the powerful Arab tribe of Banu Taghlib, who avenged the massacre and obliterated Jadis in a series of vengeful battles. Although Tasm and Jadis were ultimately destroyed, their stories left an indelible mark on the memory of the Arabian tribes that came after them.